Hi there, I'm Kendall Hoeft. I am a transformational life coach, and today we are talking about overcoming the fear of joy. Are you afraid of happiness? Are you afraid of success in your life? Are you afraid of feeling good or being in a great relationship? Well, how do we get there? What are some of the things that start to develop in our lives and teach us that joy is unrealistic and that happiness is unattainable? Well, this can start way back in our dysfunctional family model, where if we grew up constantly being disappointed, constantly being on the brink of happiness, on the brink of, mom finally being okay, like maybe she'll stop drinking, like maybe we'll actually have money this week, like maybe, I don't know, whatever that thing is, you got so excited about as a kid, and then you realized that your dreams were unrealistic, that your desire for happiness or for peace, or for joy in your life was truly unapproachable. This is the lie that you began to receive as a child. And so I want to tell you that, hi there, Panda. There's a verse I really like, Romans 8:15. It said, "You did not receive a spirit that makes you a slave again to fear." So we don't have to be afraid. We can live in freedom and joy and peace and happiness and abundance and not be afraid of that possible success or that joy or that happiness that's available to us. So way back in childhood, we might have learned to expect something bad to follow something good. So if I'm in a relationship and it's going really well, can't get too excited, can't get too invested in the relationship, maybe I don't change my Facebook status to in a relationship for a really long ass time because I'm it's basically going to end. Guys, I'm going to be real with you. I totally have found myself doing these sort of self-protective behaviors because I feel like at some point along the way, I decided it would be better to stay on guard at all times. At least that way, when the bad experiences came, when the relationship crumbled, when I was disappointed, I'd be ready. I wouldn't be so blind. And this is where we become cynical. This is where we become realist, some like to call it, but really it's pessimism. And we become very uncomfortable with joy and with happiness. And when we're actually in a healthy relationship, when we're actually in a relationship that actually is good for us, we're not able to see that. In our minds, we turn it into that toxic relationship we were in. And we're very uncomfortable with joy and happiness. In fact, we can't even enjoy the good things in our life. If we're actually making an inflow of money, we can't enjoy it because we believe it's going to be gone. If we're in a healthy relationship, we're always ready for that person to turn on us. We're always ready for betrayal. We're always ready for the knife to drop. Worst case scenario. And this is a fear of joy. It's very sad because if we can't enjoy the good gifts in our life, if we can't truly be happy, what's the point? We have these beautiful things. I want us to be able to go past fear and start to understand that every relationship isn't toxic, and start to understand that there are people that will accept the fullness of who you are, people that you don't have to hide from. You don't have to hide even things that in the past you would have been judged for, things that you would have been made to feel ashamed or embarrassed about or guilty for. There are people that are welcoming and accepting and open. And several, I have a best friend right now. I have an amazing husband right now. And both of these people, I have had to go through a process of trust because it took a long time to trust my husband and to believe he wasn't just going to leave. And, I'm in a good place with my friend Sam, but, it's we're still in the trusting process. And every time we get into a little misunderstanding, I tend to flare up and think that, well, it was a good run and man, what's it going to last anyway? And like getting into that. And it's actually really sad. But I'm working through that, and I'm learning how to accept love. I'm learning how to receive love, and I'm learning to be able to acknowledge the good in my life and to actually step into an enjoyment of that. Okay, dysfunctional families, how do they foster this fear of joy or this fear of happiness? They're unpredictable. They do a lot of waiting. They foster a desire to prove self-worth through achievements. That was in my family. They encourage wearing masks. Yes. Why? Because, masks have to do with hiding. Masks have to do with performance. Masks have to do with shame, right? I'm not okay. Who I really am, like my real face, is not acceptable. So therefore, mask it, fake it. Be the you, the inauthentic, partial you that society might be able to swallow. It might be able to handle a muted, watered down version of your authentic self. Sad, sad stuff. And yet so many dysfunctional families, because of the parents or the grandparents' own insecurities or own self-doubt or own way that they were suppressed as children and they weren't able to freely express who they were, they place that on their children because kind of good intentions. They don't want them to be ashamed. They don't want people to laugh at them. They don't want them to be unaccepted in society. They want them to have a good life. And now I know that a good life, even a great life, even a fantastic life is possible with authenticity. See, now I know that I don't have to fake it to make it. Like, I don't have to show up as anything less than who I truly am. That I can show up 100% me. In fact, I'll have better friends, truer friends, because your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So when I show up doing my expressive things, I get people who love me for who I really am, not people that I put a mask on to sort of impress them so that if I'm not cussing or if I'm going to church every Sunday or if I'm kind of playing their game and speaking their language and living life according to their standards, living life according to their expectations, then I'm accepted. No, friends, those are not the kind of people that are going to be compatible as friends with me. One of the top qualities in my current relationships. Hi, David. One of the top, I began to look at who I married and who are the people that I'm very attracted to in my life. And you know what? An openness, and it's really love, honestly, but it's acceptance. It's a non-judgmental welcoming. They're people that I don't feel ashamed of who I am. They're people that I can mess up and they don't then judge my character. Like, they don't then think I'm like out of integrity. They understand that there's seasons to life, that God has us, that there's a process. I'm not saying they don't, speak to me about something they're concerned about, but I am saying that they allow me space to make mistakes. They allow me space to grow. They allow me space to be zany or try things without a fear of judgment, without a criticism that's going to, what are you doing now? Or like, who do you think you are? What is this all about? Without that kind of critical questioning. Okay, so dysfunctional families are unpredictable. They thrive on crisis, and so are toxic relationships. And so you literally learn to almost be more comfortable with crisis than with joy or with happiness or with peace. And this happened for me. I was in a toxic kind of romantic relationship. And once I got out of that, the only pleasure in that relationship was this sense of being abused. I know it's really, really twisted and very sick. But the only time that I would receive affection from this person was once he hurt me. Because what happens in the abuse cycle is they wrong you, and then there's a cycle of like up cycle where it's sort of the hopeful upswing where they're like, oh baby, I'm so sorry, like please, I need you, like I can't do this, and they say very nice things as a manipulation to get you to stay in that relationship. So they wrong you, they abuse you, they hurt you. It's extremely toxic. The whole thing's toxic. And then they apologize. I'll do better. I'll change. And you stay. If you stay, please get out, friends. It's not worth it. You are worth being loved and respected. You are worthy and you deserve to be treated well. Then they go back into the abuse and the mistreating you. So that was the cycle. So I knew, right, Pavlov's bell ringing, I knew that once I was mistreated, then the little reward that came after that was I was actually finally going to get some verbal affirmation. I was actually finally going to be told that I was loved and that I was needed. Like I was actually going to get something positive. And so sickly, I had this association that pain kind of came with love. Like it was a very twisted, toxic, abusive relationship. So there's, let me see what do I want to say about this? So I kind of got off. So hi, Lindsay. Okay. So there's something kind of twisted in that, but it's like, if I feel this pain, if I'm being abused, if I'm in this relationship, I can have something to look forward to, which is that they're going to kind of try and make me feel better afterwards. And so I was so almost comfortable in the storm. I was so almost comfortable in the toxic relationship that when I moved out of that crap and moved into better relationships, I wanted to create drama. Why? Hi, Lindsay. Why? You just got out of it. Because we get used to it. Because that's kind of our normal. And this is why children that have alcoholic fathers or weak men fathers or different things in their family of origin, they kind of are drawn to that on some level, like daddy issues, we call it. It's very odd, but it's like you think you'd want to go to the opposite thing, but it can be where you kind of go where you're normal or where your comfort zone was. All right. The child learns not to make the mistake of letting your guard down again. The child develops an unspoken rule. Don't let yourself get too happy, because just when you feel happy, it will happen again. The abuse will happen again. The disappointment will happen again. And so we've got to go back to those childhood hurts. We've got to sort of lovingly look that inner child in the face. And we've got to understand that was then, that love is possible, that happiness and joy and fulfillment and enjoyment of life is for us, that we're worthy of loving, healthy, safe relationships. Dysfunctional families do a lot of waiting. You become more comfortable with waiting to succeed, waiting to be happy, than from actually experiencing those things. You become an experienced waiter, not an experienced experiencer of joy. I can relate to this guy right here. High achieving. It's always the next thing. Thank you. It's always the next. So I'm striving to. Okay, cool. I got the degree. Okay, what's next? And you don't even take a moment to soak in it, to enjoy it. And you go, wow, I just literally spent 4 years working hard. I have a degree. Like I earned this. That's awesome. Woohoo! And enjoying that moment of your success. Can you even admit your successes? Can you even admit when you did good? Or is it time for grad school? Or is it, okay, great, I got the degree, now the job. Okay, I got this job, but I need a better one. Oh, I'm doing okay in this job, but I could be doing better. Yikes. And now we're on the treadmill of perfectionism, of workaholism, of achieving in order to sort of feel a sense of value, just to try to strive to feel that we are good enough, to try to overcome shame in our life. Whew. Okay. Have you learned to be more comfortable with the waiting than the receiving of love, than the arriving, than the enjoying? So I want to look around and accept the beauty that is and be happy. So a little challenge for you. Hopefully you can enjoy this challenge. Because I think challenge, whew, get my work on. I can compete now. I can be the best challenger ever. Recovering workaholic. I've come a long way. I've come to celebrate mistakes and celebrate imperfections. Like, I almost don't want it perfect. Like, perfect isn't real. Perfect is kind of like sketchy. I'm like, what's like Stepford Wives about this? Like, I'm not setting that standard for myself because there's no way I can be perfect. And that's awesome that I don't have to be perfect because I serve a risen Savior. Dun, 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 dun. I smile because I'm happy. Do, 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 do. I love all those old Easter hymns. We just had Easter last weekend. Okay, back on track. Focus Fox. And I'm back. An attitude of gratitude will bring abundance into our life. Looking around today and beginning to embrace and celebrate everything that we have. Wow, I have an amazing apartment. I have 2 loving cats. I like my skin. I like that I have arms that actually work. I like that I have a nice sounding voice. I like my eyebrows. I just go crazy with it. And also just begin to maybe enjoy the things in your life. How do you start to enjoy things? Maybe make a list of things that you like, things that bring you some happiness. So for me, it'd be being in nature, taking hot baths, petting my kittens, running around in the park, dancing in public, dancing in my house, making these videos. And just be like, I really do enjoy this. And just be conscious of your enjoyment of it. Like, that probably sounds weird, but developing an awareness where you can literally be like taking a moment to savor how I feel right now. Wow, I do feel healthy. I do feel good. It does feel good to breathe in fresh air that revitalizes and refreshes my body. It does feel good to exercise or to do yoga or to drink a green smoothie or to play my violin or to make some art or whatever your thing is. Beginning to enjoy it. And let's overcome that fear of joy. Because I have an amazing quote. He is no failure who enjoys life. Love that quote. He is no failure who enjoys life. None of us want to be a failure. None of us high achievers. We can't fail. We've got to win. We've got to succeed. Put the grit to it. But are you actually enjoying the things you achieve? So you may be making your 6-figure this and that. You may have a yacht. You may have a gigantic palace. But if you're out there working all the time, you're never home enjoying it. It's just the rat race, guys. So what's the point of all of your hard work and all of your labor? What's the point if you can't sit back? Oh, it feels good. Just relax and begin to enjoy everything that you've worked so hard for. You deserve it. You're worthy. You're worth it. All right. Love, hope, and freedom. I'm Kendall Hoeft. If you're watching on YouTube, I encourage you to like this photo, share it if you feel like it. And of course, I invite you to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Bye.